This video was made possible by our supporters on Patreon. Our backers allow us to take flights to other countries and visit experts to find out more about the story.
You can support the channel and get great perks along the way by becoming a patron. You can sign up by going to patreon.com/TLDR news.
Normal Brexit Explained videos are entirely animated, but for this one, we're taking a trip to Estonia.
So why Estonia, I hear you ask? Well, if you scroll back through our past videos, you'll find a video that we made all about their e-Residency scheme.
We got a lot of responses to that video, but two of them really stood out. They're inviting us over to Estonia to hear more about it. And who could turn down an invite from the Estonian government?
So we headed to the airport and got on the flight and headed to Tallinn, which is the capital of Estonia.
Before we continue, I want to clarify that this is absolutely not an advertisement for Estonia or their e-Residency scheme. We weren't paid to make this video, and they didn't pay for our trip.
To learn more about how TLDR News is funded, you can go to our website, tldrnews.co.uk/funding.
Before we went on the trip, it only made sense that I signed up for one of Estonia's e-Residency cards.
We have an online application platform, fair and simple, so it won't take you too much time. You need a photo, you need your passport, you have to have identity, otherwise you can't do it.
And you just basically fill out the information that's required. There is quite a bit of information, but once you have filled out the application, push proceed button, and then you also pay the state fee, that's €100. That's basically it as far as the application process goes. So.
And that's with our police and border guard board, and that can take up to about 30 days, and then you'll get your answer if you've been approved or not.
So I filled in the form, it took a few weeks, and then I got an email back from the Police and Border Guard Board saying that my card was ready to collect. So that's when we took a flight and headed over to Estonia.
No, you do not have to come to Estonia. You can do it basically everywhere in the world.
Well, we're in Estonia already by this point, so why not pick it up from there?
So we know the process, and obviously Jack's now become an e-resident, but we wanted to find out if anyone could become an e-resident of Estonia.
Anybody who's adult, so there is no limitations regarding the countries or regions in the world. So basically anybody who has internet connection and a valid identity document, a valid passport, anybody can apply for e-resident.
So this is the moment you've probably been waiting for. You want to know what I've got, what you can apply for, and what e-Residency actually gives you.
People came up with the idea that if Estonians can do everything online, if we can run our companies, for example, online from anywhere in the world, then why shouldn't anyone? So what would happen if we gave cards like this out to non-Estonians? It's got no picture on it because it's not a travel ID. It doesn't give you citizenship or the right to physically live in Estonia or the European Union, but it does give you access to our digital country entirely online.
As the core group it's meant for entrepreneurs, those who want to do business across borders, those who want to be trusted in European Union, roam the world and so forth. So essentially it comes down to that each and every one of them has a cheaper, better, faster, easier, more convenient way of doing business.
So if you're an expat moving countries, if you're traveling and working at the same time, you can always take that company with you. It's an EU company. So if Estonians have those advantages, the idea of e-residency is why can't anyone else? And there's lots of people living around the world who are in places where if they registered their companies locally, it would be very difficult for them to grow that company. For example, in Ukraine, people have a lot of difficulty with payment providers, for example, like PayPal doesn't operate there for Ukrainian companies. So entrepreneurs would see starting a company through e-residency as a solution to growing their company globally. And we saw this become very popular both inside the EU and outside the EU and in different countries for different reasons. It depends on what kind of barriers are there locally to starting and growing a company. And if you have barriers locally, which we don't have here in Estonia, then often it makes sense to start that company in Estonia and run it from your own country.
So Estonian citizens actually have a similar card, which gives them access to all of these online government services. The amount of services online are pretty much endless.
And this is my ID card. And it's my digital ID card. It's a chip and pin system. Plug it into our computers, and we can do almost anything online.
The only things you cannot do electronically is getting married or divorced. And also for real estate transactions, you still need to have a document.
And it's not because we don't have the technology to do those things online. It's because it's probably a bad idea if you can do those things instantly online. We don't want people having an argument in the middle of the night and pressing Control-Alt-Delete on their marriage.
But other than that, all different services, you apply for everything online. You can fill in things that you need to, like tax declarations, but you could also ask for planning permission or permission to hold a demonstration or child benefit, all sorts of different things electronically.
So we're actually going to stop those two right there. There's so much to talk about when it comes to Estonia's e-government that we're actually going to make 2 more videos about it. One about the high-tech government services that Estonia offers, and another one about their online voting system.
So make sure you're subscribed and you've hit that bell icon below the video to make sure you get a notification when those videos go live.
So Adam showed us the e-Residency card a bit earlier on, but in case you're wondering, this is what the e-Residency kit looks like. Inside you have the card, of course, and you also have inside this little adapter. So this is what you plug your card into, and then it allows you to plug it into your laptop. So you just need to take the adapter out and then twist it round, and then that is ready to attach. This is your card, and on it is the chip, which is read by your computer. So with that, you just need to plug the adapter into a USB port and then plug your card into that. Then you're ready to navigate to the official app. From within the app, you can do a number of things, including signing documents, encrypting documents, and finding more about your eID card.
So as Adam mentioned, everything is online with the e-Residency scheme. Unless you want to visit like we did, this means that you can run your business completely remotely.
So for Brits, this means that you can operate within the EU without being in the EU.
Everything to do with running your company is online in Estonia. The only exception I can think of is maybe kind of changing shareholders. Everything else is online. So we use our ID cards for digitally signing things. If you want to sign a contract with someone, you can do that instantly. Accessing your banking can be done through the e-Residency card as well. You'll need to do an annual report for your Estonian company. You can instantly do that through your ID cards. I used to run a British company, and I also used to run an Estonian company. And sometimes the British company, you do need to sign things offline, and it can be a bit of a hassle. For the Estonian company, everything is online, but then the hassle is reduced as well.
So for Brits, this obviously impacts Brexit. After all, one of these cards connects you to an EU country even after we've left. So we asked them how Brexit has impacted the scheme.
In the UK, there's always been interest. After the Brexit referendum, obviously there was a massive spike in applications for e-Residency. E-Residency is one way to continue operating within the EU, continue doing business.
So there are a number of use cases and business cases. Academics actually lose opportunity to participate in EU funding, but they can actually participate in Horizon 2020 funding schemes through their e-Residency digital identity.
So we haven't mentioned this yet, but I'm sure you may be thinking this. Surely this is a great tax avoidance scheme, right?
Definitely not. So the digital identity itself, as I mentioned, leaves a footprint, a digital trail. So it's not the first option that you should use for tax optimization. You're still a tax resident in your home country. So where you create value there, you should actually pay the tax. So it's ultimately the responsibility of each e-resident to make sure that he's in compliance with his own tax rules. But that is not what e-Residency is for.
So if it isn't for tax reasons, you might be wondering why Estonia is bothering with all of this. This technology must be expensive, and if they were taking a cut of your revenue, it might make sense. But otherwise, why else is it worth it?
We can be totally open about, So when you look at how e-residents contribute to Estonia, they bring in a small amount of additional tax revenue, but most e-residents, they don't pay taxes in Estonia. The largest financial contribution that e-residents make to Estonia is actually by doing business with other Estonian companies. So once you start an Estonian company, you're then going to hire an accountant, maybe get a virtual assistant. You'll need to get a virtual office, address, a contact person. These services are very good value for money here in Estonia, but they really help add to the Estonian economy.
the companies of e-residents have set up way more jobs, physical, jobs or sort of, than we thought at first and hoped at first. And so the whole point was, can we attract more users this way? I always sort of say that each week, each month, we get more new e-residents from around the world, including Britain, than there are babies born in the country. What has been really a learning lesson for us is the sort of very, very warm feedback and appreciation we get from many, many e-residents around the world in how we have enabled them to have a wider reach in terms of economic potential. And I think that has become more and more of a mission besides the selfish growth interest.
And after doing business with other Estonian companies, you have investment in Estonian companies and you have business travel to Estonia.
We never sort of envisioned that e-residency program could be such a good tourism boom in a sense that actually, yes, people, once they have this relationship, then, they also want to come and explore and see it in person like that.
And then if you put the financial contribution to one side, that's really significant, but it's nothing compared to the kind of soft power that comes with e-residency as well. When we make more friends around the world, more people find out about Estonia.
I think the main benefit has still been the reputational benefit of Estonia as a thought leader and kind of creating this innovative program that has shown some way to the world. So we know that there are some governments and countries who are willing to continue with the program similar as to this.
So some people might say, that's a marketing thing. And well, yeah, marketing is useful for Estonia, but we wouldn't be able to do that if there wasn't real substance behind the program as well. So e-residents need to get value from e-residency, and we can see that these companies are growing, and that's really important.
As I mentioned earlier, this isn't the end of our Estonian adventure. We're putting out 2 more videos on this channel, as well as a load of behind the scenes extra content on the Patreon. Those behind the scenes videos will be coming out very soon and they're exclusive to Patreon. So if you want some of our extra footage from Estonia, as well as unedited interviews, including advice if you want to apply, then make sure to become a Patreon over at patreon.com/TLDR news.
So thanks for watching this big ambitious video, and we hope you appreciate and enjoy the effort that we put in to make it happen.
A special thanks to Adam and Abdul who reached out to us and organised all of the interviews. And also thank you to all the interviewees who gave us your time. Keep your eyes out for more content coming from Estonia alongside our normal animated videos. Don't worry, those countries with shoes aren't going anywhere.